Alright everyone, here we are back with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video, and to stay tuned on in towards the second half of this video, guys. We have a lot to cover. I'm going to share with you guys the opportunities we found over at the Discord collectively as a community, as well as a ticker symbol you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to add to your watch list. And these ticker symbols that we found on Friday in the Discord in the morning, the lowest one went up 25% plus, and our highest ones went up 40% plus. We hit 3 home runs, and that's what we look for daily. And if you want to become part of that, the link is down below in the description, and you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together to maximize profits and minimize losses over at the Discord. So AMC Entertainment, I'm going to show you guys a short clip that we've already seen before. We're going to look at it, and we're going to jump right back into this chart and talk about some very important things that we need to discuss to understand where this could go, and if this short squeeze is going to continue, and if the bulls and the apes are going to come back stronger than ever after this. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk about the chart.
Didn't have. In other words, yes, I think there are dynamics where retail investors can get. I think there are dynamics where retail investors can get. I think there are dynamics where retail investors can get. But it's really a dynamic where I think this is going after bad companies.
Yeah. As we saw, she stated those words, and I put it repeatedly so you can hear it clearly, and that's the same spot where she stated that. And the thing is, that could have came up on the teleprompter and she was just reading it, or that just came out naturally. We don't know. But the fact that that was stated, it gives even more reason for this whole purpose of a short squeeze to even happen and even go further, because now it makes the bulls and the apes correct about their superstition and their doubts of the whole system. But that's not the point here. The point now we need to look at is some important things. So the AMC CEO, when he did the offering, he stated a few things that made the squeeze a possible thing, which he stated it when the squeeze was already starting, because this is just a small percentage of it. Now, about 20 to 30% of it has already happened. There's still more room, and that goes to show you how much further AMC can go. And now after these statements, it makes me think that the bulls and the apes are going to be even more motivated to push this upwards, right? Because there was a little bit of dismotivation from this peak of $70 to pushing backwards after the offering, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of uncertainty. But those that really hold strong or believe they want this to go higher, you know, they probably took a little bit of profits. They didn't take any profits. They're still holding. It all depends. I would love to see where you stand down below in the comments. But there is possibilities for this to push higher. But there's some things here I want us to look at. So the last squeeze happened back in January, obviously going into February. And it hit highs here of $20, and it fell back down. Right now on the one-day chart, the fall back down was a little bit harsh. It happened really, really fast, like in a matter of 2 days. And that's because of the halting and stuff like that. So remember, what happened last time was forcing people to sell. Nobody's forced to sell right now, and this is moving a lot slower, right? But it's still moving in that downward direction. Now, we need to see if this is going to get close to this area and then bounce back up, or is this going to use this pullback? Like I always say, these are not setbacks, these are setups to go higher. We've seen it before. You can see it here every single time this needed to go ahead and prepare itself to go higher. This looked like a setback, and this was a setup for the next run. This looked like a setback, and this was a setup for the next run. Is this going to be a setup or a setback? We need to see how much further it can go down, because it does have room to go lower. But now let's look at this interesting thing here, because I want you guys to see here on the 30-minute chart how important it is to be aware that this could be this temporary setback now, and this is the setup to go back up. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a straight arrow, but it might take a few steps to move upwards and start building its momentum. But this right now has a lot to do with the offering. This has a lot to do with uncertainty. But after all this news, and also the CEO statements in the offering stating that this is possibly going to short squeeze, or if not already short squeeze, and the fundamentals and so forth, warning everyone that the price of this stock has nothing to do with the company's correlating performance. Well, at the end of the day, he did state the possibilities of a short squeeze, and this could be the beginning of the true short squeeze that might come. We're going to have to see. But when you look at all of this, there's so much room right now for the bulls and apes to push this upwards. And it's going to be very important, guys, to look at these levels and be aware of these numbers. So I've talked about $37. That right now is our most important support level. If that one by any chance gets broken through, the next support level will be down here at $28. And you want to see if the bulls are trying to reappear and bring this back up. Now, the 50-day moving average is important. It's $51. The bulls need to break through that and turn it into a support. It's actually $51.94. So I'll just round this up to $52. Once the bulls break through that, they have a little bit of momentum and some type of leverage to push this up higher. And that's next point is $57 after that point. Once they break through these two, they are gaining momentum, and then they have to go ahead and get up here to 68 and most importantly 72 to see newer highs, continue this momentum, and actually start making the shorts have to cover to go ahead and create a short squeeze that's going to be explosive if the bulls and apes can hold this up. Because remember, the shorts only cover towards the expiration of their shorts, and they're going to have to be forced to buy back those shares and then squeeze it upwards because the expiration is coming. And if the bulls and apes hold this up together, it's going to create that squeeze. Right now, we're in tug of war zone. The offering didn't help. We get that. But most importantly, out of it all, right now with this news, I believe the apes and bulls are going to come back stronger because the purpose is to push this up higher. That's their goal. That's what they want to do. And that's what they're seeking to do. Now, the offering kind of killed the momentum, but it hasn't destroyed it completely. No one is forced to sell like what happened back in January, like we were seeing in the chart here on how fast, it just fell, right? Because everyone was forced to sell. No one could buy shares. You're allowed to buy and sell shares openly. So the bulls and apes are going to come in stronger than ever if they hold this up. But most importantly, I would watch very carefully that $37 mark, $28 mark, because then we are actually getting into weakness. And then at that point, I'm not saying the chart is destroyed and that the bulls and apes don't have a chance, but most importantly, they need it to stay above those levels so that they can force the shorts to buy back their shares. As always, guys, if you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe. Share this with a friend so they can receive this insight as well. And all I ask for is 3 to 5 more minutes of your time. I'm going to share with you the home runs we hit this Friday and the opportunities we look for every single day when the market is open. And you can become part of that as well by joining the Discord link down below in the description. We look forward to having you join us. And I have a ticker symbol for you that you may want to add to your watch list, because after this short squeeze is over, we need to continue looking for opportunities, and you will find them here with me on Invest for Tomorrow. The ticker symbol I have for you guys today is one that I've mentioned before, as it was getting closer to $10, and since it hit that, it's bounced back up, came back down closer to $10, and right now it's up between 15 to 20% since I mentioned it, and there's so much more room for this one moving forward. This is definitely a stock you want to have on your watch list if you don't have it already. We're going to look at its chart in just a moment, but I want to share with you guys today's home runs. We went 3 for 3 with our stocks today. It was phenomenal, and I want to also share with you guys the opportunities we had all week. What were the possibilities? And if you set a structure and goal, the opportunities are there. By joining us over at the Discord, you'll be able to become part of this. The link is down below in the description. We look forward to having you join us, and you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So this is the stocks I mentioned this morning. I talked about BBIG, and then I also talked about SENS. Now, I did a video on this yesterday. There's a lot going on with this stock, even for the long term, not just the short term. We caught it at 267. BBIG, we caught it at 381. And I talked about WINT at 259. Let's look at these charts together to see how they performed. So let's go ahead and see this together here as I pull it up. So the first one was BBIG. I caught it at 381. And that was nearly the low in the pre-market. It had jumped up almost 10%, pulled back down, and then it took off to a highest point of 25% plus. This was a home run for the day. Anything above 20% is phenomenal. I look for 5 to 10% on a regular day, 10 to 20% on a great day, and 20% plus is a home run. This was another home run. We caught SENS at 267 when I mentioned it in the morning, had jumped up a little bit, pulled back down, hit lows close to the 250, 253 range, and it took off after that in just a few minutes after that and leading into the next hour, a highest point of 40% plus. This was phenomenal. Now, this had jumped yesterday in the aftermarket hours because of news, and that news was about to spark another catalyst on a Friday because everyone's finding out about it. And not only just now, this might have catalyst potential even moving forward if there's more updates on this and so forth. Now, the other one was WINT. I mentioned it at 259, pulled back a little bit to 245 range, and it took off, giving almost 10% right away, pulled back down and took off to a 40% plus opportunity above 330 range, almost 340. Like 339 was the peak, and since then it pulled back and jumped up again. So 40% plus on this one, 40% plus on this one, and 25% plus. I mean, in just one day, there was enough room between all of these to make 5 to 10%, 10 to 20%, and 20% plus on the day. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is this week's performance. These are all the stocks I've mentioned this week and the percentage gains at their highest point. Doesn't guarantee that that's what every single investor can experience, but between all this type of movement and up and down, there's enough room for an investor that is positioning themselves for the opportunities to make anywhere from even not 5 to 10% like I say on a regular day, but even 3 to 5%. If you look at all these percentages, there was enough room. It's all about timing and execution, and the total possible percentages gains was 359%, and at an average of 3 to 5% a day, that can constitute to 42% to 70% in just a week. Obviously, it takes time and execution to get things correct, practice, but when you practice and you learn, if you don't have much experience day trading and you use a simulator, once you sharpen your skills, you know, the opportunities are endless, and you can become part of that by joining us. The link is down below in the description. This has been a phenomenal week, but what's the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list? Well, it's PSFE. I've talked about PaySafe before. I've talked about what they do, what sector they're in, and we caught this one as it was going lower, hit close to the $10 range, was picking up steam, hit highs here of 1260s, pulled back down close to the $10 mark at the beginning of June, and it's picking up steam again. When I look at this chart, you know, I look at it from the bigger picture. It's pulled back down, and this is kind of sitting sideways with a lot of volatility up and down, but this is given enough swing trade opportunities. This is given enough opportunities to buy and keep your average cost low or average down, and this is a long-term opportunity from the sector that it's in, the potential that it has, and what they do. PaySafe is going to be a big thing moving forward. I'm not saying it's going to be like a Square. I'm not saying it's going to be like a Wix.com. I'm not saying it's going to be like those payment processors, or a PayPal, but it's going to get its piece of the share in the sector and in this niche. You want to do your research and due diligence on this one to understand it and further understand everything about it. Check out their website. I believe they have a website. And once you do that, you'll be able to make a rational decision as an investor to go ahead and maximize profits and minimize losses with the opportunities that I share with you guys. It's not financial advice. I'm just here to share with you guys what I'm watching and enlighten everyone on possible overlooking possibilities that people may not be aware of, or they just didn't see it. And I'm here to enlighten everyone. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.